Hi Year 6, hope you got on well with last week's tasks. So this week we are going into week 4, and this week we're carrying on with a bit of fractions but also looking at decimals and percentages and looking at how those fractions, decimals and percentages link. Okay, so more revisiting of what we've already taught in school. So I'm just going to do some quick lessons, recapping stuff that you might already know, you might remember, but you can use this just in case, okay? So, when we're working with decimals, so to the left of our decimal point, we have our ones, tens, hundreds and our thousands. Once we start to use a decimal number and we've put that decimal point in, we go from tenths, hundredths and thousandths. Okay, don't forget the ths. Okay, so if I wanted to show 7 hundredths, not 7 hundredths, 7 hundredths, okay, that would go here. Can't just leave it like that because then it's just a 7. I would need to put my decimal point, and I'm saying it like this because sometimes you guys decide that you don't like the decimal point and you forget the decimal point. The decimal point is our friend. We must not forget our decimal point, Year 6. Okay, so I've put my decimal point in and now I'm going to pop my placeholders in. I can't, again, just leave it like that because there must be a digit this side of the decimal point. Okay, we must show that this ones column, our whole numbers, have a value of 0. Okay, to show it's a decimal. So 0.07 is exactly the same as writing 7 over 100. Or if I wanted to make that larger, it's the same as me writing 14 over 200. Okay, right, just going to show you using what I know about place value. I'm going to have a look at the numbers that I've got here. So I've got 0.2 and the 2 is in my tenths column, so I have 2 tenths. This one I have 0.02, so that is 2 hundredths. Here I have 0.122, not 0.122. 122 is this side. We don't have any hundreds that side, they're hundredths. Okay, so we don't have 0.122. I've got 0.122. So, because I've got my tenths, I've got hundredths. I'm now into my thousandths. So if I've got into my thousandths, then my denominator is going to be my thousandths. So I'm just going to pop 1, 2, 2 over the top. Next one, I've got tenths, I've got 200, so I've got 1/10, I've got 200, so in total I have 12 over 100. Okay, so that's just a recap on how to write decimal numbers as fractions. Your activity today You've got some fractions that are already in the simplest form, but if not, you've got to change into their simplest form, and you've also got some decimals that you have to write as fractions and then simplify. So you did simplification of fractions in your activities last week. So it's just doing it it's the same process, but this time you've just got some decimals thrown in there too. So convert the decimal to a fraction first, then simplify, or simplify convert the fraction and then change it to a decimal, okay? Just remembering all the time that if we need to get that fraction to a decimal, we need to be getting it either out of 10, 100 or 1000. So for example here, if your first question was write 14 out of 200 as a decimal, I would be getting that down to 100 first. Can't get it out of 10, could get it out of 1000, but it'd be massive. I would be getting it down to 100, simplifying it to 700ths, and then I can write it easy peasy. Okay, so good luck, off you go, you'll be great.